Cervical cancer continues to be the second most common cancer in women in Belize, and our incidence and mortality rates are still double than what is seen in Latin America and the Caribbean.
It's no secret that cervical cancer, one of the most preventable cancers, continues to rob many Belizean families of their mothers, wives, daughters, and sisters. Over the years, there have been new screening tests introduced and more recently a preventative vaccine. Now, another screening option has become more accessible to women through the Belize Family Life Association.
We're introducing the human papillomavirus test, commonly known as HPV. It's a test for high risk, 14 high risk types of human papillomavirus. And we know this is important for cervical cancer prevention since this is the virus that is the causative agent of cervical cancer.
To understand the significance of the test, you must understand the link between the human papillomavirus, HPV, and cervical cancer.
Most women, we'd say we have about an 80% risk of being exposed to HPV virus during our lifetime. But if we have an intact immune system, then this virus will be cleared spontaneously. But in women over 30, if you still have HPV, this is what we would call persistent HPV. And these are the ones of concern because these have the capacity of actually causing changes to the cervix. Pap smear and VIA tests actually look for the symptoms related to HPV infections. All right, so when we do the HPV test, we're actually looking for the virus that is responsible for causing these changes.
HPV is sexually transmitted. There are over 100 types of the virus. The HPV test that BFLA offers looks for the 14 high-risk types. Currently, there are two options to taking the test.
There are two options. The woman can actually do a provider-collected sample, hand in a provider-collected sample, or the woman can actually opt to do a self-test. So if it's provider-collected, woman gets in a position, like if she's doing a pap smear and a small brush is inserted by the cervix and a sample is collected. If it's self-collected, the woman is given a package with all the instructions on how to do this at home or with her help of her partner or however she chooses, and the sample can be dropped off at the clinic. So persons that actually test negative for a HPV test, if you have an intact immune system, meaning that you are HIV negative, you can actually rescreen until 5 years' time, compared to maybe doing a pap smear where you would normally have to rescreen about 3 years' time. If you have a HPV positive test, it would mean that you would need further screening. So these women are normally invited to come in and either do a visual inspection with acetic acid. If you test positive, then you can be offered treatment.
While the BFLA clinics are not the first to offer the test, they have acquired the equipment and training for technicians to offer the test at the lowest price tag in the country, at a promotional price of $35.
I think it's our responsibility to try to bring the best tests that there is available, make them accessible to women, make them affordable to women, and find a way to also link them to treatment. And I think that's what BFLA has been trying to do. It's a very preventable cancer. I think if we all get together and we educate women on getting tested, and not only getting tested, but giving back timely results to women and linking this screening with treatment and encouraging vaccination in young women, educating on safe practices and healthy sexual practices, I think we can reduce our incidence of cervical cancer tremendously.
The HPV test is available at BFLA centers in Belize City, Orange Walk, Belmopan, Dangriga, and San Ignacio.